Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Maryoquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Okay, so we had quite the conversation before we got started. We have a special.
Once again, you missed Mary and I like yelling at each other with love. It was kind of funny, actually.
Okay, so we got a guest on today. Hi, Angie.
Hi.
We should just make her a co-host at this point.
You know what? At this point, is she really even a guest? She's like, meh.
All right, so once Chris went to go get something, Angie and I had another conversation, Chris. And the question was, how long have you known me and Angie? Has none of us rubbed off on you yet?
Like, I thought I had enough of my shit together that Mary would go, good, you had an idea and you're following through, not to push me 10 more steps ahead. That was my bad. To be fair, that was my big silly.
That you're now into the next stage. You need to be shoved off the cliff.
Yes, this is like Mary's forte. She makes sure you're in the hang glider. She checks all the gear and goes, great, and then shoves you off. And when Chris, prior to the tonight, the taping, Chris sends me a message. She's like, should I tell Mary about the thing? And I said, yup, because why? Because I knew Mary was gonna stick her in the hang glider and shove her off the cliff. See you later, bye.
See you, bye. Yeah.
So we're being very vague because we don't want to actually announce what it is she's doing, because it's really a great idea. And I am so surprised nobody has thought of this just yet. So I'm going to say, good job, Chris.
Yes, well done.
Okay, but now you have to get your product and out and market it into the real world, because just because it's great doesn't mean that people know that it's available and how to buy it.
Yes.
What have I done? Well, by the way, this episode is being recorded on July 31st and will air on August 7th. So if everything goes to plan, this will air the week before it is debuted in Chicago. I'll have some samples at Super Zoo. But if everything goes to plan, I will have some to actively physically sell at Chicago.
Okay. So we're just going to be really vague, and we're going to go yippee for Chris. And it honestly, Chris, it amuses me to do this to you.
I know it does. I can't even be mad.
You can't be mad because
it's love. I can be scowly and annoyed and yelling back at you, but I'm not actively mad. See, that's where the East Coast in us both comes through, because we can just like be yelling simultaneously and it's just fine.
So, we said it before, but I'm pretty sure Chris and I in a former life were sisters.
Oh my God, yes. I'm thinking brothers.
Or brothers.
I'm thinking brothers because
Siblings of some sort.
Siblings of sisters are slightly less likely to physically kill each other.
Oh no, you did not met my dog, have you?
That is true. I did. There was that one Christmas. So did I tell you this story?
Yeah, you've had sisters.
I've had sisters. they were a lot older than I was. So I didn't grow up with them the same way because they were already in high school when I was born. However, because they're half sisters and my height and size comes from my mother's side, there was one Christmas where my sister Gloria, who comes up to like here on me, like I'm for those of you not watching on YouTube, I'm making a motion below my shoulder, but above my elbow. She was drunk at the holidays, shocking. And our brother stopped by and she started a fight with him. And I was tired of the Bruno family Christmas fights. So I simply leaned down, put my shoulder in her abdomen and my arm behind her knees, stood up. So she is now on my shoulder, smacked her ass hard and said, "It's Christmas, be nice," and put her down. Yeah. So maybe sisters is all I'm saying.
Two of my brothers, 15, 16 years old, were out in the yard working on a car. And we will say the fact that they didn't kill each other with wrenches and whatever tools you use to fix a car in the 70s and 80s, didn't beat themselves to death with it. It was nothing short of a miracle. And our poor neighbor, who I know people laugh when I curse, okay? Don't expect it so much from me. You guys should be past that already. However, this little old lady who lived next door truly would be clutching her pearls and her Bible and praying for my brother's souls, like on the other side of the hedge. And that was a fairly common occurrence between my two brothers.
Yeah, boys do tend to. Frustration comes down to physicality.
Yeah.
It just does. It's
well, and I think with sisters, I think most of the time it's not so much physical as it is revenge, emotional revenge.
yeah.
This will be resolved. I'm not gonna tell you when, but it will, trust me. You will be shocked and surprised, but
And then there's lots of screaming. See, I grew up with older aunts who were all significantly older than me. And they were all within like a couple years of each other. Wow. There was fights. And then somebody always ended up crying. And it was, yeah. But they love each other today. But they were horrible to each other as teenagers. Just horrible.
Teenagers.
So, yeah.
all right. So we actually have topics for tonight, which as you know, we eventually get to. So one of the topics, so we have two topics. One of the topics is going to be, when is being honest too honest? And then on the flip side, when are you not being honest enough?
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I'm surprised that Anjie does not have this tattooed somewhere on her body, but the words contact time, contact time, contact time.
I might have to actually make that leap because it pains me. It pains me.
My question for you is, maybe I haven't noticed, but do you have any tattoos?
I do.
So you would not be the first. This would not be your first tattoo.
Yeah.
You could do it in Latin. Contact time, contact time, contact time, somewhere on your body, but do it in Latin. I think that'd be fun.
Be like, but see, it would have to be in context. That's the thing, because that could mean so many things.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't have to. You just have to know what it is. So Latin, as you know, there doesn't seem to be Latin contact time. Ever seems to think that they're talking about time itself. All time. And pet, oh my God. At this time, at one time, for all time, of present time. I don't think any of them. Oh, here we go. Contactus tempus. How's that?
I will have to ask Cam because he actually took Latin to see if that makes sense.
Yeah, I took 4 years of Latin. It's contact time.
Okay.
Well, tempus is time. Contact wasn't necessarily a word. So it would probably be more like stay time, which would be minere tempus.
Okay.
Because contact meaning time it stays. Or touch time.
All right. We'll play around with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But first, let's talk about when should you be more honest and when should you be less honest? And the reason I mentioned when you should be more honest, because you know what, there are times that, you know, what we really truly need to hear or see something, and saving our feelings isn't really doing us any good, you know. And a stupid example would be as you walked out of the bathroom with the half a roll of toilet paper as a towel. I want to know that. Be honest.
Well, yes. Yes. And you know what? It is about time for our first commercial break. Now that I am not distracted by me not ordering packaging for things off Amazon because apparently Ziploc baggies aren't professional. Although, I mean, they're not. So apparently.
When you guys see what she has, you're going to get why we just was insistent with her.
Yes. Yes. All right. So I actually made myself do a thing. I'm a little impressed that it has gotten to this stage. And it probably would not have gotten to this stage if a combination of my ADHD hyper focus went, must do this now. And then I started texting Anjie.
Yeah, that was either her first mistake or maybe a really good idea. I'm not sure which.
I don't
But
know.
because then things just shifted right into high gear. And then
Yes.
links
And then I got mathed at.
yes.
I got mathed at.
Like literal, there was massive amounts of equations
Yes.
where it was like, oh no. Because this.
And I'm going to tell you, at a certain point in time, my brain just went, okay, whatever you say. That sounds like a thing. That's not bad, I guess. Okay. Sure.
My next
sure.
question, all right, do the commercial because now
Commercial.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis World Class Education Team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis Grooming Education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education.
Okay, so my
Back.
question to you, Chris,
Yes.
have you done a business plan for this? I'm taking that's a no.
That was a ridiculous question.
Even I knew the answer to that one, and I hadn't even asked that question.
What? Mary, let me break it down. This was an ADHD hyperfocus
But you're
idea
guessing on what the
that I
question
had in a
is.
class, blurted it out to the class, and then spent the next couple days going, well, that's a good idea. Why don't I take my own goddamn advice? And made it. And as I was putting these bleepers together, I went, people would buy this because this is a pain in the ass to do.
Okay, so again,
And that was like 3 days ago.
okay, so
No.
do you think maybe you should know what this is going to run you so that it is priced so that you can make money off of it?
Oh, no, that was the math. That was the math.
We broke it down. We actually broke it down to 1,000th of a penny.
Okay, but did anyone write it down on paper or on the computer?
Did send it in Messenger.
Okay,
Yes, but then I found one item cheaper, so then it changed a
but
little.
here's the thing. So you copy and paste what Angie sent you, put it into a document. All right. You can always print it out. You can leave it in a document. I don't care. But then as you find different suppliers and stuff, then you can, edit it, but you have an idea. So then my next question for you will be, all right, this is, this is coaching 101. Okay. You need a name for it. You should have a face. Get out the pen and paper, write down your to-do list, Chris. Okay. All right. You're going to have to take a really nice picture of it, and you're going to have to create a Facebook business page. And then you can also create an Instagram page and link it to your Facebook page.
Close to the same when you
Don't
do.
wanna.
You don't have, well, okay, if you don't want to do this, who in your life can do this for you? You don't have to do everything yourself.
I know.
Exactly.
I know. I will see what I can sick hubby on.
Okay. And then you have to have some sort of marketing plan. So you're going to have to give that some thought.
This is, and by the way, the effort not to, I can already tell that I'm going to have to, when I edit this episode, just ignore everything and really not edit it, because the silence there is vital, because it's me going, okay. We will.
I just think this whole thing's awesome because this time it's not me sitting in that seat.
Right. Right.
Because I've already been in that seat. And I got the talk. So now it's your turn. And I'm here for it.
Because what I'm saying makes sense, correct?
Yes. Oh, it absolutely makes sense.
Oh no, it makes sense. But I wasn't even thinking on that big a scale. I'm like, that's a lot. Like at some point I know I'll have to do that.
Well, I got my mission when we were at Colorado. I'm already working on that. Mary's like, hey, you need to do this. And I'm like, oh, crap.
I
So
can't
I
laugh.
am.
Now it's
I am.
Don't laugh at Angie, because
no, because I'm in probably a worse state than Angie.
no, you're probably going to be added to the thing that Angie's doing, because it wasn't actually my idea, by the way. And we're going to throw Denise Hero under the bus.
So,
Totally her idea.
oh no, not that idea.
Okay, what's the
other, the idea for another book.
Oh, right. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So Mary's just like, yeah, you need to do this. And I'm like, I need to what? And she's like, yeah, you need to do this. And yeah, just you go ahead. And I'm like, okay. And I had been given my mission, and I have
And
been,
here's the thing too, I know what you're talking about now. But here, Chris could do the same thing,
yes,
her specialty.
yes. And that was kind of my point. You're lucky she's not handing you that yet. See the face, the grouch she's making, a grouchy face. It's very, very grouchy. She looks like any minute now she's gonna start waving her arms up and down and like a 2-year-old and stamping.
Yeah,
Going,
yes, it was the
I don't want.
pouty face. Yeah.
But yeah.
So there will be new things for next year's Sparkly Honors. I'm just saying that right now.
Yes, because there's no way on God's green earth this is gonna be ready for
Tomorrow? No.
No.
Isn't that when the Sparkly Honors come out? Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I might have this in time for Christmas next year, this year.
Okay.
Maybe. That's my goal.
I have all the great ideas.
Oh, we're going to talk about handing you the torch after I'm done with burning mine at both ends and straight out the middle. And oh, look at the pretty rainbow.
I made a rainbow, y'all.
She made a rainbow.
If you're not watching, I made a rainbow using both hands and the New Jersey state bird.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right. We have a topic again. So, Chris, this is Chris's idea for the topic. All right. So why did you want to discuss this?
Okay, so actually, we have talked so much and digressed so much. It is time for the commercial of the thing that brings Anjie joy. So I'm going to hit a button and then we're going to go into it. If you're a dog lover, A Spirited Life is a must-read. Filled with personal photographs, this book takes you on a journey through the life of the incredible Spirit Oquendo. It offers inspiration for anyone who feels life has dealt them a rough hand. Despite facing challenges, this dog, with the support of his mom, Mary, transformed his adversity into something truly remarkable. This book's humorous and touching anecdotes will have you laughing, crying, and occasionally spitting out your drink. Get your copy at positiveed.com/books. Okay,
Yes.
I did not laugh in the middle of the Positive Ed commercial because of we were talking about humorous things in the skunk story. I laughed because I'm staring at my to-do list and trying to think of names and going, I can't, and going, I always like having a backup plan. I can't call this plan B because that's something else. That would be horrible. So that's that's not the name of that's not like it would.
That's pretty funny, but
it almost works, but no. Okay, so topic. All right, so the reason this came out was because in my something that happened in my doodle class at Colorado Springs, and I was already a little bit wound up regarding this because I think a lot of the problem with doodles and that groomers have with doodles is communication issues with the clients, and they don't know what they don't know. You know what? They don't know what they don't know. And it started badly, and it started with breeders not giving good information or giving really, really bad information, but they're here. This is grown. There are actual breeders who do health testing, who are working on trying to standardize the breed. And, we'll hear more about that in another episode. But the demo part of the class I was told that the owner of the doodle who brought it in was very careful about making sure the dog was prepped, because she was afraid if she brought in a doodle with any kind of knots in it for this demo, she would get absolutely ripped to shreds by groomers, which is fair. She would have, but this is somebody who is letting us use her pet, her dog that she loves, for a demo, and this is her legit fear. Like, this is how we've gotten to be. And I got to be on the receiving end of some of the bullying regarding that with my Muppets, Johnny and Edgar, because they are not neutered yet, because they have enough health problems. I want to get them to I don't want to neuter them too early. I'm like, let them stop growing, let them get as much as they're going to get, because they've got enough health issues. And I posted a picture of them online, and they have puppy coat. So it wasn't matted, but it looked knotted. And I have video proof that it wasn't knotted. But I got ripped to shreds by groomers.
Oh, yeah.
I got not only ripped to shreds by groomers, I got screenshot and put into another group on why are doodle people like this without my name. And I couldn't even get in that group. I don't know that I wanted to get into it. I was just mad by about the whole thing. But apparently I was a breeder. And anyway, it was a whole thing. So I wanted to use the video I had of them to educate. This is where some of the puppy owners are going from. And that just set me over the top. So I told the class, so this is what people think of groomers and how they're going to be treated. So we need to do better. Like, we need to do better as an industry.
Mm.
And I simultaneously feel that was valid, because we do. But then, because I'm a Hufflepuff, I felt a little bad, and I felt that maybe I was too rough on the people in class, because they're probably not the problem, because they're in the class to try to learn how to communicate and do the things. So I was like, was I too honest? Was I honest enough? I have the problem where I don't do subtle very well. Like, if I try to do subtle, it comes in two forms. It comes in so subtle that nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Or blunt force. Like, just baseball bat upside the head. Those are my two speeds.
Well, I only have one speed, and you could probably guess what that is.
It's baseball bat.
Yes.
To the face.
To the face.
Boink.
I have a mark on right now. I have the mark on my face because I'm
Does.
still trying to think of a name for the product, and it's not going to be bland.
Colorado. See, we can't really see it anymore. It's healed.
Oh, is it the wiffle? Was it a wiffle bat at least? So you got the good marks? No.
No, it wasn't a request. It was a requirement. You will do this. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I started doing that that night. I was given my assignment.
Damn it.
Hey, how do you think the last book got written? The last
Yes.
book, my book got written because Mary said, you need to write a book.
Oh,
And I said,
I already, was that the torch that's being passed to me? I already know that's coming.
yeah. So
I already know that's coming. Let me get this rolling first.
yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like January, because I'll be ready by December. But yeah, January, I'm gonna be bonking you in the face with the bat.
Okay. But all right. So was that too harsh, or was that something we need to hear?
I think it was honest. And I'm the same way. I'm so subtle, you don't know what I'm even talking about because it's so subtle. And then I do the swish, and it's like, well, that was a bit much. I don't have any in betweens, but that's why I hired someone I hired my assistant Angie to do that for me because she had that perfect balance of not too much, but not enough. So it was never like, you know, wow, that was, she would be able to explain it and make it sound better.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I'm just going to say, you know, wow, your dog's really, really matted. And then stand the comb up in the dog and look at the owner like, and that's kind of where my speech ends. And then my eyebrows climb into my hairline. And I look at them like, and then I take the intake form and go, where it says extremely matted. And that's like pointy, sign here. And that's, yeah, that's all I've got. Where Angie gives a very lovely, detailed explanation of, I understand your life got busy, things got away from you. The dog is actually matted. And here we are. So here's our solutions. And you can either take it home, brush it out there, or we can shave it down and start over. But these are our options. Or if it's a puppy and it's gotten away from them and it can be brushed out, know that this can be brushed out, but it will be X dollars more because this is going to take more time and more product and more X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, Q. And so she would explain this in lovely detail and have the form ready to go for their signature. Where I don't really possess that nuanced capability. Also because we've worked together for so long, I never actually bothered to develop it. Because I'm just like, and she's like, I'm on it. And she would just slide right in, you know.
See, with customers, I can usually do it. I'm usually better with customers. Every so often, things have slipped out of my mouth that just, for whatever moment, my filter was broken. But 9 out of 10 times, I am much better with customers with that. So,
All right. Now, here's the thing, too, what I noticed. So, for people who are blunt, okay, I'm blunt. All right. But on the same token, you can be blunt with me. I'm not going to take offense. Okay. I think we all have styles and ways in how we approach things. And a lot of that actually has to go all the way back to our childhood. So I grew up in a very loud household. I had 3 brothers, loud father. My mother, not so much. But if you wanted to say something, you had to say it, or you weren't getting heard. All right. And again, father and brothers who were not what we would say gentle with their tone.
yeah,
When I was
yeah.
little, there was 13 people at the supper table. So if you wanted to get your words in, you had to be clear, concise, to the point, say what you needed to say, and then shut up.
But something, ignore what I was just about to say, because I was actually answering Chris's text. Talk about that later. Okay. So is it time for another commercial, or can we
It
continue?
actually is, and I was afraid you were going to say that. So yeah, damn it. I was hoping to save money, but no, apparently not. Hanvi engineering isn't just for mobile groomers. I have loved my Hanvi equipment for years before I even thought of getting a mobile van, and I wouldn't want to groom without my Bathing Beauty and hair vac. With every piece of equipment in their van and outside of it having its own QR code linked to troubleshooting tips and fixes, these low maintenance workhorses turn potential roadblocks into mere speed bumps. Check them out yourself at hanvi.com.
Okay, so that said, and a lot of times when you're communicating, say, on social media, it's hard to say tone. Okay. Now, sometimes you can, when someone's writing in all caps, you can pretty deduct that they're,
Yes.
all right, or they're doing capital letter, little letter, capital letter, little letter. They're being sarcastic. Those are the easy ones to pick out. But outside of that, tone can be difficult. And when you're someone's asking for assistance, the question is, are they really asking for assistance? Okay. Or they just want to be told everything's okay, they're fine.
Agreed.
It's you know what? That's part of the problem because so many times I know Angie, you pull your hair out on this regarding rabbits and regarding accidents that happen in the salon. There are a lot of
Oh,
times when
dude.
people go to Facebook and go to social media and they do just want to be told. They want to be comforted. And
For doing everything wrong,
yeah.
having a rabbit either die in the salon or die the next day, and they want to be told that they didn't do anything wrong, even though they did absolutely no research, did no background, made no effort to find out what to properly do, and then the rabbit dies, and they want everybody to say, "Oh, it's not your fault, it's not your fault," when in fact, everything they did created the circumstances for that rabbit to die. And then there are groomers, well-meaning, unknowing, who say, "Oh, it's not your fault, it's not your fault." And every time I come in and say, "Well, actually, you did A, B, C, D, and E, so in fact, this is your fault." And then the post gets deleted.
The entire
Because
post
it
or
is,
your
there's,
comment?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, because I got tagged 18 times in the post, and they're like, "Angie, Angie, Angie," and I'm like, "Yes, it's their fault. I want them to know it's their fault. You screwed up. You killed that rabbit. That's on you. You have to now own it. And yes, you owe that person a ton of money. Because yes, you killed the rabbit because you didn't know what you were doing, and you decided that you could do it without having any idea what you were doing. And now the rabbit paid the price." And there's no nice way to say that. Especially when they go to the groups and say, "Hey, I'm grooming a rabbit tomorrow. Anything that I should know?" And I put in my general rules, like I always do, of how not to kill a rabbit. And then the next day, after liking my comment, the very next day, they disregard all of it. And then the rabbit dies. And I'm like, "No, you killed it. You told me, you tranced it, you bathed it, you cut all the whiskers off, you created a stress situation the rabbit couldn't recover from, and it died. So yeah, that's on you. It's completely your fault. There's no nice way to say that. You killed the rabbit." And I don't think I could do that very nicely. I don't know how.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, how would you feel if it was a dog and somebody killed a dog because they left it on the table and went to
I was
lunch?
just thinking about that, where apparently they went to lunch.
Yeah, left it on the table, went to lunch. How
And yes,
would you feel if then there were people telling him, "It's not your fault, it's not your fault." And you were the one, they were tagging you in that post. And you're like, "What do you mean It's not their fault. They went to lunch with a dog that was muzzled on the table and in a loop.
Mm-hmm.
It is completely their fault. So that's the position I'm put in all the time.
Okay. So there's times to being honest, and I'm going to say in a case like that, you have to be really honest because it has to be understood what happened,
Yes,
that somebody else doesn't make the same mistake. All right.
that's
Then,
my,
you know, is that what you're referring to, Chris? Because I want to make sure that I'm actually keeping to the topic you think I'm keeping to. Chris just got eyes got really long.
Yo no sé. Yo no sé qué.
Okay,
in
so
other words, I wasn't paying attention. I
In
was
other
doing.
words, my brain went like squirrel for 30 seconds and then I got called on it and I'm like, what now happened? Yes, 100%. Because you can't start out an episode giving me a task list of 20 items and then not expect me to get distracted by it during the episode. So once again, have you met me? Right back at you.
okay, just making sure you're paying attention, Chris, because
The answer apparently was no.
so
Because where my mind started to
point-
drift off.
point here being is, how much is too honest? So
Yes, how much is too honest, and what started my brain on the squirrel path was I'm thinking poor Angie. She said that she only comes on for like rough episodes, and we tried to have a positive episode, and this one was going to be neutral, and I brought it right to dead bunnies. I did dead bunnies. God damn it. And this was all my fault too. I can't even.
But we will shortly talk about the joys of contact times.
Which I'm sure will come back to funiculitis.
dead bunnies again, Chris.
How do you say that again, Angie? Funicula?
No,
Funiculitis? No.
no, no. Just no.
And I'm stone cold sober,
She is.
sadly.
She is. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess to
You
sum
know
up-
what? It's close to time for a commercial break. Why don't we do that and let me recoup and recover myself? And we'll wrap up that topic and discuss contact time and cleanliness. That's next to godliness, apparently. Okay, you know I love my Evolution swivel shears, and you even know that these customizable shears come in non-swivel as well. But did you know that they're the only ones I've been trusting my sharpening with for around 15 years, and that's how we met? What? You haven't tried their sharpening yet? If so, send in your next batch of sharpening and you'll get one shear sharpened for free with a $75 order just for telling them where you heard about them. Your shears and blades will thank you.
Oh, okay, to sum up then.
What is Angie holding up a picture of? She just doodled a doodle? What is that? It's a bunny rabbit. It's a very cute bunny rabbit.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if you ever really answered my question. You said it was honest, but was it too brutally honest? Was I mean?
I think there's a time and place for brutal honesty. In the case of something that can cause injury or harm, whether it's to pets in your care or groomers in your care, I think there's no such thing as being too brutally honest.
Well, but
And
at this, yeah, I
But
just,
at the
I
same,
am so honored that people come take my classes. I want everyone who leaves my class to feel better about things. I don't want them to feel like I pooped on anyone.
Okay, you don't have to call anyone specifically out.
Oh, okay. No, well, that I didn't do.
Okay, but
You're not going to go row by row and go, you in the blue shirt, you in the green shirt.
okay, you can be too brutally honest. Let's just, for example, let's say I post up a picture of this Bichon I just groomed. And let's face it, it's been 5 years since I've actually picked up a pair of clippers.
Oh, that's going to be rough.
Yeah, so if I go, hey, can you critique this dog? I haven't groomed in 5 years. I would like some constructive criticism. And there will be people who will give me constructive criticism. They're like, yeah, you know what, you haven't groomed in 5 years. You know what, have you tried this? Did you forget? And I'll be like, probably. I haven't picked up a clipper in 5 years. There's probably a lot of things I have forgotten how to do. Okay. There will also be a group of people who will just rip me to shreds over it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's really, first of all, not helpful. Okay. At the same token, if I post that picture of a Bichon and I'm like, look how great I groomed, this is awesome. Okay. And then people will come in and give some constructive criticism. Am I taking that now as you being mean and a bully?
Now, see, that's a valid question because I think that's also an issue because we need to be able to take and differentiate between what is genuine teaching and constructive criticism and bullying.
Yes.
And I
And I think
know
those are two
I've had
very, very
conversations
different.
about that recently.
Okay. And that can be two very different. So being brutally honest when it is necessary and bullying when it's not necessary.
I go by the rule of thumb.
What was that, Angie?
I go by the rule of thumb. If someone asks for assistance, critique, ideas, help, etc., I will offer it. If they simply say, this is the dog I groomed and I am proud of this groom, great, congratulations. The dog is groomed. I am not going to offer any critique or anything like that because they're not asking for it. It's that simple. I mean, if the dog is in a safe position, you know, like all the etc. and so on, but the dog looks happy, the dog looks clean, and okay, they groom the dog. And that is where their skill level is at right now. I'm not going to pick them apart. They didn't ask for a critique.
Okay, and I think that's fair. Okay, but I think on the flip side too, when you ask for that, you have to be prepared as the person asking. Okay. You know, none of us are mind readers. Well, I'm not anyway. And I don't know what your intent is, and I don't know if you've had a really bad day and you just need a pat on your shoulder. And I'm going to come in and I'm just going to tell you something that I think you want to hear, but you really don't.
Right. Right. So no, it's sometimes difficult to interpret that. And I think sometimes when you are in an active learning phase of things, then you need to be a little more open because things may sound critical and they're not.
Okay, so shall we move on to contact time, Angie?
What do you mean
Yeah.
Maryoquendo mentioned me in a post on Facebook? That's awesome. Sorry. She's blaming me for being distracted, yet she's tagging me in Facebook posts. I kind of want that. It's a little more gruesome than I normally go, but
No, that's pretty cool.
I think what she tagged me in, it's a kitchen knife holder
but it's a skull.
Okay.
I was just sticking in the skull. I think
So
it's
the
all.
knives are just sticking in the skull. And I think there would be where now I have to Google this thing's existence. It's time for our last commercial break. Well, I have Googled this thing's existence, and then we will talk about contact time again. Wow, this has been a somehow very on point and somehow super digressing episode. Super digressing. At least I'm hoping we were amusing. Y'all,
And if you think we're amusing, the Traveling Groomers would not only like to be nominated for a Barclays Honors, we would actually like to win it this time.
okay. And when we say like to win it this year, I mean really like to win it this year because Mary's not coming to Hershey. So if I have a shot in hell of touching this thing if we win, it's got to be when Mary's not there because she has proved her willingness to body check me 2 weeks after ankle surgery when I was wounded. So a healthy me has no goddamn chance. I don't care she's older than me. She's fierce and will take
Bats.
me down in a fancy dress, tackle me to the stage to get her hands on this. So
I won't be wearing heels. Whatever I'm wearing will be with a pair of sneakers.
see, and I
Any
won't
better
be
traction.
wearing, well, maybe I'll wear sneakers now. If Mary's there, I'll wear sneakers with my evening dress. How about that? All right. I said things about commercials and then I digressed because that is also the theme of today's episode. Mwahaha. I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel. Taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse, these super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomers sent you. Y'all, this is why I can't have nice things like a freaking savings account. Because I have now Googled this and I found one on Amazon. Oh, $6.99 delivery? F that noise. But I found one on Amazon. I found several for under 20 bucks. And the effort not to just add to cart and buy right now is Herculean.
Yeah.
Because I also just spent like a bunch of other money for stuff for the businessy product and adulting.
Adulting is hard. Adulting is hard. But maybe what you can do is once you start making a profit, you can buy your knife skull.
Okay.
Set it as a goal.
Yes. Goals are good.
Yes.
They'll keep you reaching every time. And it's good to set up some hurdles for yourself as well.
Oh, there's some gross ones that I won't be getting.
Okay. So contact times. Tactus Tempus. And if I end up with that as a tattoo when you see me in Groom Expo, now you know why. Okay, let me explain this.
Again.
Contact times when it comes to disinfectants are very, very important because bacteria, fungus are basically like, all right, you know, when you were a kid and you take the quarter and you put it in the gumball machine and you end up with that little bubble and there's like a temporary tattoo in it or a little toy in it or a something in that little bubble, right? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
the plastic
Yeah, the little
container.
plastic bubble with the colored bottom. Okay, so I want you to think of when you think of bacteria or viruses or fungus, they're basically like a little bubble. Okay. They're surrounded by a coating, a shell. And then the little bacterium or fungus or virus is inside that little shell. And in order, some of the shells are very weak, they're very wimpy, like a soap bubble. You can just kind of go pink and it pops and then it's dead because the disinfectant kills it like immediately. But then you have others that are much more resilient, much more like that plastic coating, and it takes a while to break through that thing. Okay. So that's when we talk about contact time. That's why contact time is so important. Because in order for you to actually pop through that coating, you have to have a minimum contact time. And I see people, it's suddenly vinegar and alcohol are all the rage in the groups. Like, holy cow, everybody and their brother wants to use vinegar and alcohol. And I understand alcohol seems quick and easy. You just give it a good spritz. And, you know, I use 90% alcohol and I give it a spritz and then it's done. Well, no, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works at all. Because alcohol has a 10-minute contact time, regardless of the percentage. And the problem is the higher the percentage, the quicker it evaporates. So if you have a 90% alcohol, you actually have an evaporative time of less than a minute. Okay. If it's 70%, you're maybe at a minute and a half, maybe. So the only way to hit your 10-minute contact time is to submerge it. Well, nobody's submerging their home in a vat of alcohol because it's going to get all hairy and gross and everything. No one's doing that. So unless you're doing that, alcohol is not doing what you think it is. And then there's accelerated hydrogen peroxide, which has a 10-minute contact time for kennel cough, listeria, salmonella. And it's unclear at this time if it's effective against Giardia. However, it's also metal corrosive. So is alcohol. Alcohol eats blades. Chlorine compound. So the bleach, 10% bleach for 10 minutes. Also metal corrosive. However, when you are cleaning your shampoo bottles, you need to be cleaning them with 10% bleach solution for 10 minutes. Vinegar is not going to do it. Vinegar doesn't kill Pseudomonas unless you have a contact time of 20 minutes. Pseudomonas is the originosa, is the bacteria that thrives in shampoo bottles. So unless you're doing a 20-minute contact time, which nobody is, and that's also really expensive for you to be doing that with alcohol and then just pouring that down the drain when you could just use bleach, do it for 10 minutes, and it's a whole lot cheaper. So I'm confused by, I know everybody loves the salon to smell like a pickle, and there are people that like pickles. I actually have a designated trade show pickle eater. A friend of mine, Monica King, is designated as my pickle eater at shows.
And see, and I love Monica, but I just would like to say for the record that if she's ever not there, I'm all over the. Well, that sounds bad. See,
All right,
Angie,
well,
welcome. I waited till you put the soda down to go, oh, because I was going to say, I'm all over that pickle. I'm like, oh, no.
yes, you did. Well, I'll tell you what, if I get lunch and Monica's not there, then I will deliver the luncheon
Luncheon pickle.
accoutrement to your booth for you to do as you will.
That sounds bad too.
Back to contact times. All right,
Back to
hydrogen
contact. Now,
peroxide.
okay, no, now legit question, because I think some people don't want to use bleach because it is an irritant and they see it as an irritant to pets and they don't want to have it like get on their paws and get licked and blah blah blah.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's the thing. When you are cleaning out your bottles at the end of the day, your shampoo bottles, and you're doing your 10% bleach for 10 minutes, and then what you're going to do is you're going to rinse it out, and then you're going to flip them upside down, and you're going to let them dry overnight.
Mhm.
So once it's dry,
But you're putting more water in there. I don't head explode. I'm asking
How?
the
No,
silly
I understand.
questions. Yeah.
Okay. We have all at some point used bleach on our clothing. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And when you have done that, have you gone out in the rain?
I've also sweat. I'm a sweaty
Okay.
Betty.
Did the bleach that you used on the clothing burn your skin when you sweat or went out in the rain?
No, because I rinsed it off.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Ding ding. We have a winner. It's the same sort of thing. Okay. So, and if you have a recirculator, you need to be cleaning it in between pets with chlorhexidine, because it's going to take out all the shampoo scum. And if you have a dog that has a skin issue or possible ringworm, you need to be using 256, and then you need to flush it for 5 minutes with water. Because chlorhexidine does not kill ringworm. So hydrogen peroxide has a 5-minute contact time. Again, it's evaporative. So if you are not soaking it, you're not hitting your contact time. It is metal corrosive. So if you're going to be soaking it, know that you're going to rust and ruin your stuff. Quats. So a quat is a quaternary ammonium compound. They're human engineered chemicals, and 256 is called alkyl dimethyl benzyl ammonium chloride. That's the primary component of 256. So there's different types of quats. There's compound 1, compound 2, compound 3. The 256 is compound 2, which means, okay, so it has a certain, try not to get too technical. So what it does is it eats through the shell or the bubble or the little, bubble gum store surrounding of that bacteria, fungus, virus better, more efficiently for price, more efficiently for contact time, more efficiently for your salon than anything else. So that's why I recommend quats. They're easy. They're a phenomenal disinfectant. They are not a good cleaner. A good cleaner is soap and water or vinegar and water. Those are great cleaners. They clean. And to clean means you remove the dirt off. You get the eyeball boogie smudge off your clipper blade. You get the little poopy pancake residue off your clipper blade. That's clean.
Okay, now I'm going to ask the hard questions, and now Angie, because inquiring minds want to know, and people also want their shops to smell good. So if they clean first with something nice smelling, and I'm going to ask your opinion about a particular product in a moment, But if they clean first with something nice smelling and then disinfect with a neutral quat, they'll still get the clean smelling from
Yeah.
their detergent. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
What are your thoughts on Fabuloso?
I think it's a phenomenal cleaner.
I love
It's
Fabuloso.
a cleaner. It's not a disinfectant.
And
It's
we
not.
should not mix Fabuloso with quat, right?
No.
I just let's spell
No.
everything out because if one is good, two is better.
No. 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 Don't mix a quat with anything but water. Ever. Don't mix bleach with anything but water. Ever. Don't mix anything like any kind of cleaner or disinfectant or anything with anything except water. At any time. Ever. Ever. Just don't do that. At any time. Is that clear?
Yes. Yes.
Very
Well,
clear.
Every time we cover it, I will ask the stupid questions because
That's fair.
they're because if it crossed my little squirrel brain, it crossed someone else's brain, and we want
Yes.
to make sure the wrong things aren't done.
And someone had mentioned, well, what if I add vinegar to my shampoo? Wouldn't that do the same thing? And no, that will not disinfect the shampoo from the inside out. It's not the shampoo necessarily that's holding the majority of the bacteria, it's the bottle itself. Okay. So as the shampoo is being used, and we're not going to get into the pH issues and everything else about vinegar and skin. We're not contact time. This is what we're focusing on. Okay. So no, don't put anything in the shampoo. Don't put bleach in the shampoo. Don't put vinegar in the shampoo. Don't put anything in the shampoo but shampoo and water. That's it. Just shampoo and water. Don't put anything in the conditioner except conditioner and water. Just anything that you're mixing in a salon, just put water. Just don't mix with anything else. Just water.
Although I think maybe my one exception to that, she's holding her head. It's not bad, I swear. It's the Best Shot silicone. The name of it went out of my head because there's
Ultra
too many
Max.
others. What was
That's
that? The
fine.
Max, yes, because that is designed to
Add
be
that
an
to conditioner.
additive.
Add your oils to conditioner.
Yes.
That's fine. But don't add any sort of cleaner or disinfectant or weird things. Just add your oils and that's fine. Add your oils, add your Ultramax, add your Hypnotic. And no, I didn't pronounce hyponic wrong. I said Hypnotic. Chris knows that is my favorite dematting spray. That's not available in the US, but it is the bomb. So anybody going over to England, like just go get a whole bunch of it. And it's basically like you can sell it off to groomers like narcotics, I swear. Because once they try it, they're like, I need more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did that to Chris. I was like,
It's
hey,
She
wants-
did that after I bought like a 2.5 gallon of another dematting.
yeah. Oh, I totally did.
And I'm like, oh, now I got to order this shit from England. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a bird.
Yes. And I gave her this like little itty bitty squirt bottle.
Jesus.
And I was like, this is probably enough for like 4 or 5 dogs. Here you go. And she was like, okay. And I was like, just try it. Just, give it a little squirty squirt.
Oh.
And she was like, okay, whatever. And
Guys,
then
the dragon is dead. We need a moment of silence for my
May he
little
rest in
purple
peace.
brontosaurus.
Omnipoters. So yeah, so I gave it to her. She tried it and she's like, all right, so I hate you now.
Uh-huh. You're a bitch.
Because now I need to get my dematting spray from England. How bougie is that? And I'm like, put it in price point.
Pretty bougie.
Okay. So, Chris, caught up with all the commercials?
Yes.
All right. So,
We're caught up with
good
commercials.
show.
We're good to go. But I have to say, in our final digression, how awesome did you feel that first major purchase that you felt bougie? Like your first major grooming purchase
My first major grooming
that
purchase
that made you feel
actually
fancy.
was actually hypnotic.
Okay,
That
see,
was my first, like, because I had gotten a little itty bitty sample to make like an 8-ounce bottle.
yeah,
And I was like, well, I'll give it a try. And it was wow, like wow. And so I used that and then I ordered it and it was bougie because
yeah.
it was like crazy expensive.
I-
Coming from England, and it was like, hi, your new dog's pneumatic spray came all the way from England, and because I had like ingredient lists,
Yeah.
So it's like these are the ingredients from England. Here's a picture of the bottle. So yeah, that was like a bougie little. I felt pretty good about that. I'm gonna be honest.
I think
It's like,
my very first one was actually Les Pooch brushes.
okay,
Like early in my grooming career. And that was my outside of scissors. Like I spent money on scissors, but that was my first like the brushes, how much? Kind of purchase.
yeah,
And
they're actually worth it.
they actually are like good. And that was the beginning of my journey on like, wow, tools. Quit knocking stuff over. You killed it. The dinosaur's dead. I threw it away. You can't have it again. Sorry. But that was my first wow.
Too much honesty, Chris. That was too much honesty.
That was too much
Bringing
honesty.
it back.
for
Too much
Alric.
honesty for
That
poor
was-
little Alric, who just wanted his dinosaur. Too much
Listen.
honesty. Get a sewing kit.
Listen, now I gotta clean this up off the office floor.
Okay, so on
He's
that
a
note,
dumbass. And we love him. And the reason I had to go for a moment, for those of you watching, is his water dish was empty and he was getting loud about that. He couldn't wait.
Yeah, but when my Dr. Pepper is empty, I'm not waiting either. So I see his point.
Oh, yeah, no, that was fair. That was fair.
This
I
is
get
my
it.
nephew. This is my nephew who loves me and calls me. He nose dials me on Chris's phone.
He did. He nose dialed.
So I'm going to stick up for him like 100% on this. I'm sorry. I say get a sewing kit, put the stuffing back in the dinosaur, sew it back up.
Yeah,
Give
he's
it
got
back to my
plenty of
nephew.
other toys. He's got other toys.
Okay, but he wanted that one. I'm just saying.
He'll
That's what
forget
he
it
wants.
eventually, but not this very second. Anyway, I think what Mary was hinting at is
Time to go.
that she's
like, "We gotta go."
hangry
Yeah.
and we've been gone over an hour. So it is now time. And once again, oh, and also, guys, since we're speaking of too much honesty and if you made it all the way to the end, if there's things that annoy the F out of you that we can improve, dude,
Like that.
like that, tell me. And I will, I mean, unless you're like blatantly obnoxious with no constructive criticism. But tell
Yeah.
me and I will work to improve the podcast because I care about you.
okay, so again, on that note,
Mary's like, shut in 5 minutes ago. So come on, people.
All righty. We will see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Safe travels. Well, that was fun. But now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.